What you doing, Berger?
Fuel system.
Why are you having to do a fuel system?
Found some extra horsepower.
Dude, let's go over here and look at that. Let's talk about it. First off, I want to give a big shout out to Donnie B for looking over the tune and everything for us and just sitting and talking with us. He had a lot of useful information. Anyway, he's looking through the data log, Donnie B did, and found that we had a little bit of belt slip, which is hard to see on a tune. If you don't know what you're looking for, if it's kind of subtle, you're not going to see it. Anyway, he caught it. So basically, we just had to tighten the belt up some more. That was it. I know it sounds silly, but we thought the belt was plenty tight, and the car didn't feel like it was losing boost. So we did that, and you gained, I think we mentioned it in the other video, but like 3 pounds already.
Yeah, I haven't fully beat on it yet, but
so far about 3 pounds,
yeah.
and you were not turning the car up enough. So Donnie B's telling us that there is actually a good bit of power left on the table, like good bit, possibly even the difference that the nitrous might have made, close to that, maybe. We'll see. Either way, so we had to upgrade some stuff. We got to talking, and Donnie B's like, hey, look, man, your fuel system is tapped out. You're safe right now, but you're definitely going to be tapped out if this thing makes more boost. So we decided to go ahead, place an order for some stuff. Now, this is all Evil Energy stuff off of Amazon. I recommend you guys go this route, especially if you're buying like Summit fittings and Jegs fittings anyway. That's basically all this is. Got AN line over here. These kits, 69 bucks for the 6 AN kit you see here with 20 foot of hose. And this was 79. We got a regulator off of one of our cars. I already got him a filter. We're gonna go -8 feed, -6 return. There's something else I want to show you guys. I'm gonna come show the people you've been working, ain't you, boy? All right, y'all. He's got a couple things in here that we want to show you. First off, let's just show him the dash. Ooh, y'all look at that. Look. You want you some LEDs, take the time and put them in. It's worth it. Andrew's not a big LED guy, but he loves them in the dash because, I mean, hell, you can't see these things. Also, he took it a step further and did LEDs over here as well. Check that out. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, but there's something else hiding on the dash. And what the hell? What was that? What's that flicker? Look at that. Y'all, look what Berger did. Now, you got this idea from somebody online?
Yeah, somebody on Facebook did it.
Somebody on Facebook. So shout out to somebody on Facebook because we don't know who it was, but a damn good idea. So let me try to get you guys in here so you can see what he sees. Yeah, you're up here like that. So this is what he sees. That is badass. He basically trimmed all of this out. Took him like 3 hours to do it, but man, it looks sick. I mean, he really did a fabulous job on that. He's got his wiring all tucked in. People are going to ask where your switch is. You kind of disassembled that thing and poked it back up in there so that all the lights would work, blinkers and everything else, hazards. Well, you don't have hazards now because you can't get to it, but we don't really need any of that stuff, right? This is sick. Also, you set it up so now. So explain to us what you did to it.
So you can go back here where the gauge screen is, and you can go to channel scaling right here, and you can change like when it turns yellow, like what RPM it'll turn yellow, what RPM it'll turn red. And Donnie B mentioned all that.
Yeah,
so
that's
I had
right.
No idea.
So another shout out to Donnie B on that. So it'll light up yellow first and then red.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole thing is like a shift light, okay? The whole thing lights up. That's badass. So now when you're racing, you don't have to take your eyes off the road. Also, that's a really good spot there because occasionally you want to look down, like you want to look down at your speedometer. Look at this. It's in line with the speedometer and everything, if not a little higher. So you don't really have to move your eyes very far. So tonight what we're going to be doing is pulling off the stock fuel system and routing the line. Berger has never done a fuel system like by itself, so I'm gonna let him kind of take the reins here, learn some of the stuff, the terminology and things like that, because the biggest problem with AN fittings is not really doing the job, it's knowing what the parts are, like with the names of them, where to get them from, how to search for them. So once you learn the terminology, it helps you with searching and finding what you need. Also, I want to recommend one more time to draw things out. As you can see, Andrew kind of drew us a little diagram, write it all out. And that right there is gonna help you order all of your parts. All right, we're gonna get busy. Probably put you guys into some time lapse, and then at some point we'll drive the car, see how it all works. Maybe not in this video though. Let's talk about it for a second. We're running the SVE rails right now, and honestly, it's a problem with a lot of different rails out there. I know Anderson makes some that do not interfere with your distributor as bad. Let me show you guys what you kind of got to deal with here. Okay, it's going to be hard for you to see, but this fitting is right up against the distributor. So they come with spacers behind them, but sometimes the spacers aren't enough. So what you can do is either stack spacers or washers, or if you look really closely, that is a nut down there. I think that's a 7/16 or a 1/2 inch nut. I can't tell. But anyway, just stack something behind it, and all you're doing is pivoting the rail. It's gonna still stay in line and seal up. You're just kind of, instead of the rail leaning over like this, you're just kind of putting it more straight up and down. So it's perfectly fine to do that. Don't freak out about it. But you're gonna be really close to your distributor, which is why I always recommend doing your crossover in the back, because you just don't have the room up front. So anyway, that's that. Let's go ahead, finish this thing up. Is it fun back there?
It's not at all.
Yeah.
I'll sell this and take $20. Who wants to?
Said it's tight enough.
I'm just feeling like it.
The Berger says it's tight enough. It's damn sure tight enough. Oh yeah, you don't have that regulator and all. So we've gotten pretty much all the fuel system on the front side done. Got a crossover in the back. I didn't video that, but we just got a crossover that comes in the back at 8 a.m. Then it comes out here, and this is the return side. The fuel line goes out and around and down to that regulator. So we're regulating the fuel system on the return side. That's usually the best way to do it. I've done it both ways. I've done it both ways and had great luck, but the return side seems to be a little easier to regulate. So we chose to mount the regulator over here, and the only thing really left to do is just hook a few things up. We can't finish the car tonight. That's why we've just been taking our time. We're missing some clamps, your fuel hat. I guess that's about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take you over here to show you what we did with the Carbon Fox. So it now has the heavy duty Gates green belt on it as well. Looks like a damn Christmas tree under here. But the belt that was on the car was a little too long, and we weren't able to really get enough on it to tighten it down. So this belt, it's a little bit shorter, and it's just a better belt. So we should be able to make all the boost. I think we had some belt slip, all the remnants of belt dust. I don't think it was slipping that bad though, because I mean it made 15 pounds. So I don't think there's really a big issue there, but we went ahead and did that. I want to talk to you guys about something when it comes to fuel systems. I know most people are scared to death of doing this, you know, running AN line, braided line, whatever you want to call it, figuring out all the fittings, what they're called, how many to order. Listen, a lot of you guys need to upgrade your fuel systems. You need to learn how to do this. Research it, the biggest thing is to learn how to cut the line. We just use a cutoff wheel. They actually recommend using a hacksaw. I've never used a hacksaw, but you know. Anyway, once you learn how to cut it, blow the line out, put the fittings on, It is super, super simple. And the cool thing about doing your own fuel line is you can make it look any way you want to. You can bring it over here, over there, run it all together. Like it's super cool once you do it. And now, I hate to say it, but with this cheap Chinese stuff, and I don't mean cheaply made, as in it's gonna fail or something like that, but the prices are just really cheap on some of this stuff now. A fuel system like what we're doing for his car back 10 years ago, just in the line and the fittings alone would have cost you $450, $600, just depending on what you got. Nowadays, something like this costs about 250 bucks, maybe, yeah, about 250 I think is what he's got in it roughly. So you save yourself a lot of money, okay? But a lot of you need to do this, so don't be scared of it. I'm here to tell you, anybody can do it. I mean, here's the proof. If you ever wondered if you could do it, I mean, if this guy can do it, you think you could probably map out your own fuel system now? Get pretty damn close, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And you know, when we first started it, he was like, I don't know anything about this shit. And how quickly he learned. These straps for the AN line, 8L clamps, these right here, these clamps, supposedly Lowe's has these in stock. Berger checked earlier, so that's what's going to make your fuel line look real nice and also just protect it, right? Get it up out of the way. So he's going to go tomorrow and pick up a bunch of those, and then we're going to make the fuel line look real nice, secure it good. So just in case you guys were wondering, you're going to need those. Do not skimp out on those. Just buy them. Zip ties are fine in some spots, but you're going to really need some of these clamps. So go get those at Lowe's. Hopefully we'll let you know if they got them or not. Anyway, we'll probably catch you guys tomorrow, finish this up. We got Berger all set up here. This is a RC connector right here. It's a
XT60.
It's a XT60 plug here. That way we can disconnect it, but should be just fine. Got his new pump. So we ordered a 340 pump from Anderson, and we ended up just immediately cutting the back side of this thing out right here and adding, no, yeah, it was a 340 pump, and we added the 450 to it. Had to do a little bit of modifying, but not a whole lot, and he's about to drop this thing in now. Hopefully, if he knows the combination to it.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, he says he knows the combination. Let's see.
Yeah. You just, if it don't work, put it hammer.
There we go. Whew, that was a tight fit. Well, why don't you put the new gasket on first then, Mr. I know everything.
I was trying to teach you a couple tricks.
And I say we make these lines a little longer anyway because you're going to want to be able to drop the tank and do what you need to do without having the line so short. You can kind of tuck them up, do something with them, zip tie if you need to. So it's still just kind of hanging for now, but we've got it all clamped up. And this is how it's ran. I like to show you guys this in case you're wondering how to do yours. It is kind of close to the exhaust here, but it shouldn't cause any problems. And we can also wrap it if we need to. But it's got to come across here at some point. So this is one of the best spots. And up there. All right, comes through the subframe connectors, down, and then there's a trick flow filter in line. That's on the feed side. And then up and out right there. So we drilled some holes and we just wrapped it with some door trim molding or whatever you want to call it, and that's that. It's got its drive shaft back in. Everything's looking good. So you excited to have it all back with your TKX and your nice clutch, because you got the twin disc back in it now. So we need to talk at some point about this clutch that you put in there from O'Reilly.
Yeah.
So at some point, so guys, remind us, at some point we need to sit down and talk about this. He put a cheap clutch in, and it worked really good, but there's more to the story than that. I do want to talk to you guys about that. But if you're looking for a cheap kind of get by clutch, man, those ones from like O'Reilly and you know, AutoZone and things like that absolutely work. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up what we got to finish up, and I don't know, I'll either catch you in the next one and thanks for watching, or I'll see you in a few. I don't know yet. I did start it up last night. Spoiler alert, everything works great. I don't know, I'm pretty sure I showed you guys how we routed everything. up in here. Yeah, we need a better camera for low light. Anyway, she's back in, got the drive shaft, exhaust, everything. Now, we did have to adjust the lower control arms. At some point, we need to check the pinion angle here pretty soon too, since we moved that. But yeah. But anyway, all this is done now. Moved his wheels just a touch more centered of the car to give the drive shaft a little bit more room up here. And just so you guys know, inland, right here, they call for an 1/8 of an inch gap here.
16th to an 8th.
16th to an 1/8. Now, ours is smushed sitting here, but it's because the rear end of the car has fallen so much right here. See, it's all the way up against here. Once you lower the car, the wheels sits back here, the rear end moves back a little, and you got about that much gap. They like that for output shaft engagement. So it is a little tight up here like that, but on the ground it's fine. So
they want the end of the output shaft to be as close to the center of the yoke as possible.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be centered pretty good.
Yeah,
it's tight, but I checked it last night, so there's room. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and lower this thing down, start it up real quick, and check fuel pressure. I want to show you what I'm talking about with the wheel, how it moves when it's on the ground. So you'll see this wheel recenter itself once it gets on the ground. And there it goes. Rolls to the back. See that? Ooh, they look so good. Everything's nice and bright. And like I said, he even changed these down here, so really nice. How did the fuel system go for you as far as like how much money you had to put into it, and do you think it's worth it? Because we used all Evil Energy stuff for the most part. Pretty simple.
I think it was like $212 or something like that.
Yeah, minus the hat, of course.
Yeah.
So that is a very cheap system to be able to run. That stuff worked great. I mean, as you can see, we've used tons of it in the past. That's all the black hose that's over there and over there. We've used a lot of it, but this was your first experience doing it. Wasn't too bad, was it? So there again, the Evil Energy, guys, I can only recommend it because we've used it many times. I've been using it now for a total of, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years. I've used it off and on and not had any issues. So anyway, with that being said, guys, there are cheaper alternatives to fuel systems. Just to go back over what we did here, we've got an air motive pump here that I don't even know what car it came off of, but it's on the car now, and we just kind of laid it over on its side, drilled some holes. You know, we ran. The return comes out of this side over here and around, and that's what's regulated. The feed comes in right here, that one, and it's fed into this side, and it just loops across in the back. Guys, it's very simple to do your own fuel system. The fuel hat is there again, an air motive, and we just slapped a 420 in it, a 420. We slapped a 450 in it, and should be good to go. All right, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Burgess car is running. I'm sure it's gonna run great, but we will give you guys an update on it to make sure everything is kosher. So wrap this one up, and as always,
Thanks for watching.
there we go.